What's good, everybody? First and foremost, I got neighbors mowing in November for whatever reason. So if you hear the hum, I do apologize, but I don't have a lot of time. And with that, I'll do the card by card, even though I typically don't like to do that. I like to spread it out. Anyway, I took Mermail back to locals this past weekend, heeding the suggest of a commenter in the previous deck profile, which was, they said, what do you do if you lose die roll? And other than like baiting properly and chain blocking properly and some stuff like that, I didn't really have an answer. So I took the deck apart and then I rebuilt it with more interruptions and hand traps for losing the die roll. And I can't say that I'm 100% satisfied with it. I think it underperformed compared to the other list. Like, I bricked a little more. I dropped game 1 in round 3, and they didn't make a difference, and in a lot of ways they contributed to more bricks. But I don't blame anyone, but like, I might have put more non-engine hand traps and whatnot in here than I should have, and so that's probably most likely definitely a deck building error on my part. So we'll get into this, and like I said, I typically don't like to do it like this. I like to do it with the spread, but anyway, we'll do it and then we'll talk about it like we did last time. The 3 Prince, the best card in the deck that's not Abystius, and then the 1-for-1 making it a 4. And then we have Dragoons, 3 of that. Get all your Sea Serpent searches. I loved 3 of this. This is really good, and a friend of mine just sent me a message a few minutes ago talking about he just realized he can search this off of Prince, which I thought was pretty funny. Great card. And then 2 Heavy Infantry, I absolutely want a 3rd. And that might be because I prefer to break boards instead of playing hand traps, but like, this card is awesome. And then we'll get into the Merms now, because that was all the Atlanteans. 3 TS, clearly. I really don't want to search this. That's why I played at 3. I've seen a lot of builds playing it at 2, and that's fine. Whatever works for them. Like I said in the previous video, I don't think there are absolutes. But I like 3 of this. There was 3 of this because I'm still on Coelacanth, and we'll get to that in a minute. But I kept opening this, and I never wanted to see it in my hand. There was not like a way I wanted to board it that wasn't out of the way, and there are ways to board it from your hand other than normal summoning, but I didn't care for it at 3, and I'll get to Coelacanth in a minute, but I don't think that's the way to go right now. I understand Shifter and Droller things, but we'll get to that. 3 of this, opening this with Teus is amazing, and I don't think that if you have to waste Prince, you shouldn't, because the way that I've been approaching it is if I open a way to discard this at all without normal summoning, I'm going to do that, and then you can summon the Prince and then send the infantry, for example, or you can just really anything. Prince is so utilitous outside of just being a starter. And then we got the 1 Megalo, which, to be honest, I had a love-hate relationship with this previously, but like, I don't know, I never wanted this weekend, so that might come out. And then we have the gun. I still prefer this over the armored shark guy, the Xyz armor guy, and then the one of Triana. This is a really good card. And one of the things that I did like about Megalo, since we're talking about this here, is that if you don't grab this with the Neptibus link, this grabs it for you, but like, I don't think that's enough to warrant this being in here. I think that as far as level 7 waters go, I think Tidal might deserve a second look, but we'll get to that too. And then the non-engine, we got the 1 Slug, we got the Coelacanth. I enjoy using this to play through Droll and sort of through Shifter a little bit, but I don't think this is main deck worthy moving forward. At least not right now. Like I said, I don't think there are absolutes here, but I don't know about this, and I don't know about 3 Pike. I think cutting these would make better room for more things. And then we have Azurine. Ultimately ended up moving it down to 1, and it didn't seem like I saw it enough, even though I know I can search it off Abyss Ryan. Like, I much prefer grabbing Tias most of the time. Qingying goes pretty hard, which is kind of one of the things that I wanted to build around. Qingying is a really good card, but I don't think that I'm going to prioritize that moving forward. I think that the Ice Jade Synchro Jameer, or however you say that, is a better option because it plays really well into Fire Kings and things of the sort. And then we have the 2 Minstrel. I still want this at 3. This card is insane. And then the 1 engine requirement, which I don't know about this either. We'll get into that though. And then for the non-engine here, 3 Imperms. Never wanted to see this. Like, when I did have it, I was in these positions where I was winning anyway, or I needed a water to discard. And I feel like for every non-engine I had, it could have just been a water monster that did similar or would have performed better in the circumstances. Imperm's a great card, don't get me wrong. As much as I was like downing it a second ago, it did win me 1 game where I had it set somewhere and my opponent had like D-barrier here, and he called Xyz, and then I like did this, and I negated his guy, and because it was in the same column, I still got to play. But I don't know about that moving forward. I really don't. Ash Blossom is Ash Blossom. It was alright. I think that if I continue to play this moving forward, it's going to be 2, because seeing 3 of this is ass. You always have it, which is a good thing, but it's not a water. And that's my complaint with it. Like, all of these could have been waters, and then I sided this out every game. Did not care for this. I know it has its good points, but it never did what I needed it to do, and anytime I had it in hand, I didn't want it. And Valor was just okay. So maybe I fucked up in playing 2 of each of these and not playing 3 of one of them, and then something else in place of another. But I just didn't care for it. I feel like this particular build underperformed in comparison to the last one, because I don't know, maybe it was just that I did a lot more testing with the last one. I don't know. And then we'll get in the extra deck. Croc, this card, when you, like I said, when you open Virtue or you need more cards in hand to push, this card is excellent. I love this card here in theory. I love Ching Ying in theory. But it didn't do what I wanted it to do, and I think I put too much stock in it. Definitely will swap it out for Jameer. Then we have the Lynx. I went up to 2 Anemone. This put in a lot of work. Really, really, really good. And then this Anemone always puts in work. I don't have any complaints about that. Great card, mandatory. This is good. This is really good. This helped me break a bunch of boards, because people at my locals, I don't know how it is anywhere else, but people around here like to like bombard you with hand traps, and you do end up with like a lot of small things on the board. But then when you are waterlocked by whatever means, this or the main deck stuff, you do this and you clear their board, and then like you can hit for all these things, and if it's not lethal, it's damn near close. I really enjoy it. Bubble Reef is pretty cool. The synergy that I talked about with these 2 came into play. It was really cool having this on the field. And then one of the things that you can do, you can banish, I forget how I was doing it, but you can banish this and then bring it back, so you have free recursion. And then we just have the same Xyz list that I was on. It's the Virtue of Viscaios. I want to play 1 more of each of these, but I don't know what could come out. This is a flex spot, and then Jameer will go here. I don't have any problem cutting this to try anything, but I like it. Anyway, I wanted 2 of these each, but I ain't spending that much on one of these. Anyway, 2 Toad, 2 Mutt. I really like my extra deck other than this, and then even in that, this was still pretty good. Ching Ying was still pretty good. I don't know that I would change too much, but I definitely want to try around with some other stuff. And then the sideboard was cool. We got the Gozen, we got the ASF, we got the searchable Dogwood. I was trying this. If you open it, you can dump it, whatever, and then you can bring this back, and it's an aqua for whatever that's worth, and it's a 4 if you need it, so it's all right. The 3 Droll. Every time I resolved this, I won the game, but I think we all knew that. And then I decided to go pretty heavy on board breakers. Duster, Lightning Storm, 2 of them, and then 2 Raigeki. This was fucking cool all day. Like, I do this thing that I learned a few years ago. Well, I say a few years ago, but it was a long time ago. Long time ago when we were kids. You start your push, and if they stop you, you know that you still have this in hand. So if they stop you, you don't Raigeki. But if they let your push go through, or you have enough for lethal, you can just hit them with a Raigeki out of nowhere, and it's really good. And then we have the 3 Dark Ruler no more. I like this a lot, and I think moving forward, I will go into a more board breaker build. I think that I'm gonna mess around with title and some other stuff. I think it'll be cool to try. And again, this is built for locals, and like I said in the previous video, I don't have a mortgage payment to throw at the new popular hand traps, but we'll get there. Anyway, this has been it. I appreciate you watching. See you in the next one. Don't be late.